Hey there everybody, it's Nina. Thanks so much for joining me today for a new video featuring some brand new products from Simon Says Stamp. I don't know if you've seen it, but their Peace on Earth collection has just been revealed and it is a beauty filled with Christmas themes. You got some fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving. There's a nice variety of seasons in this release, and even though the Peace on Earth really kind of hints towards the Christmas theme, I think there's a little bit of something for everybody depending on what time of year you're creating for right now. I am thinking about Christmas cards right now, and I wanted to create with some of these new products. Plus, if you've been watching any of my videos of late, you know how obsessed I am with creating edge-to-edge shaker cards. Are you shocked that I'm making another one? Well, whether you are or aren't shocked, let's jump on in and I'll show you what I did to create this card. Okay, so first things first, we have this amazing and gorgeous new stencil from Simon called Snowflake Cluster. It's very delicate, so I would recommend spraying it with some pixie spray or other light tack adhesives that work well for stencils. I'm going to do just that with the pixie spray, and that way it'll hold down onto my card panel really well as I start adding some ink blending over top of it, plus paste. Have you seen those new Pawsitively Everything tools that Simon released at the end of Stamptember? I am so excited about them because this is exactly what I wanted to do with all of these rainbow colors. So I have all the colors, and what I'm doing with them is, this is my dream, being able to put one of each of my inks onto these Pawsitively Everythings or PETs and having the color of the PET match up with my ink. I know I'm crazy with rainbow and organization and all that stuff, but I love it because it really is a great visual identifier for me. So I love how these Pawsitively Everything tools just make everything so much easier. So what you're seeing me do right now is take 4 of Simon's new Pawsitively Saturated inks. I've got Blush, Lemonade, Celery, and Surf, and I'm using Simon blending brushes to blend a pretty rainbow of color. The other great feature about the PETs that I'm not sure everybody knows yet, but I find it super helpful to open up my jars. I'm a messy crafter, and no matter how much I try, I still get paste boogers to goop up the sides of my jars. Yes, see? So having a PET like a jar opener is a really fantastic tool because this is silicone. So not only can I use it for inking and messy projects like paste, if I get paste on this, it's going to peel right off, glue. There's just so many useful reasons to have a tool like this. And so I'm really loving these PETs. Okay, so while I was jabbering, you saw me add some translucent texture paste, which is gloss finish, over top of my stencil that was still applied onto this background. So after I applied the paste, then I took the stencil off, which is what you're seeing right here. This is the stencil now removed. And I'm pulling out Simon Says Stamp glitters. These are 2 different unicorn glitters that Simon has. One's more chunky and the other one's a nice, very fine glitter. And this is a technique that I share often. I take the wet paste and I apply glitter over top, but I don't dump the glitter on it. I like to sprinkle. And that's because it gives me more control and more of a random finish when this dries. So it really creates a nice pretty effect. It is a little bit more messy than just dumping the glitter on top, but I like the look. So I think it's worth the mess. Now that my background is completely dry, we're going to pull out a few more things. I've got the Rejoice die, which is brand new. Also, the Autumn Sky sequin mix, both from Simon's Peace on Earth release. I have a piece of plastic from some stamp packaging. The packaging is going to be the piece of plastic that's going to form my edge-to-edge shaker. So on the back side of my now dry snowflake panel, I'm applying some redline tape on all 4 edges. Once I have covered the back side of that panel with that redline tape, then I will remove all of the release paper off of the tape and then lay this panel face down on top of that plastic. So while we have that face down into the plastic, then I can take the edges of the plastic and wrap it around the panel into the adhesive. So obviously what we're doing here is we're sandwiching this piece of paper inside the plastic. course, you know what also that means is we're also going to be sandwiching the sequins inside of this plastic. And that's what's one of the cool things about these edge-to-edge shaker cards. If you actually wanted to fill this with glitter, you could. Because a traditional shaker, no matter how close you get the foam tape to the next piece of foam tape to form the well that your sequins and or glitter are going to create, you still end up getting glitter to still come through the shaker. I don't know how that's possible. Even though you try so hard, it still ends up happening. This edge-to-edge shaker I have filled with glitter before, and I have not had the glitter come out. So I really, really love this technique. So I filled this shaker with the Autumn Sky Sequin Mix from Simon. And then I'll fold over that final edge that we had filled our shaker with. I'm going to fold that over into the adhesive and then trim off any extra plastic that's hanging off the corners. Now my shaker is completely sandwiched in there, and it's time to add a bit more adhesive to the back so that we can attach this onto a card base, because obviously this is not a card base yet. This is just a panel wrapped in some plastic. So it needs to get attached, and we need some strong adhesive to help us do that. So after I've covered the back side of this panel, I'll set this aside until I'm ready to put it onto my card base. Have you seen this gorgeous new gold matte cardstock from Simon? It's amazingly gorgeous. So I cut out that Rejoice greeting from that new gold cardstock, plus I cut the shadow layer from some white cardstock. I'm going to matte this beautiful gold. I mean, it's stunning. This beautiful gold sentiment with the white. And I'm also going to die cut that greeting twice more from white cardstock so I can stack it behind the gold one to create some dimension. Okay, now before I go any further, I have to tell you about this new technique that I've discovered. I love stacking die cuts. However, it's very tedious because if you're like me, you take your glue bottle and you add little dots of adhesive all over your die cuts, and then you have to do that for every piece that you're layering. Well, Simon came out with glue sticks in Stamptember, and oh my gosh, they are game-changing. I have been using these to cover up my die cuts with adhesive. All you have to do is just very lightly, I mean, don't press because you don't want glue coming around the corners of your die cuts and creating these glue boogers. But if you press very, very lightly with the glue stick, just enough to cover your die cuts with a bit of adhesive, it makes stacking die cuts so fast. I love this technique. Now you could use dots of glue like this to attach your greetings together, but that glue stick technique is super helpful. Now the only reason I switched to the glue in the end here is because I needed to adhere my little dots of my eyes, the little tittles, onto my greeting, and I needed some liquid glue for that because they are so tiny I can barely pick them up. So I went ahead and just grabbed my craft tacky glue to quickly glue that stacked greeting onto the shadow layer, and then I stacked up all the little tittles to form the rest of the sentiment. So our sentiment is completed, it looks nice and finished, and then I could pop it right up onto my card using a bit of foam tape. So that's going to go right in the center of my card. This card's pretty simple to put together. The last thing I did was I took out some of the new sentiment strips from Simon and I cut one out that I liked, and I'm going to put that underneath the word Rejoice. By the way, see those pockets? These are brand new from Simon, and oh my gosh, they're so handy for organizing your sentiment strips. I can finally now organize my sentiment strips in a way that actually makes sense. And they fit inside the new boxes that Simon came out with, new storage boxes from Simon. Oh, they are so helpful too. Okay, so you saw me attach my panel, which is my shaker panel, of course, onto my A2 card. That's going to finish up the card assembly. And then the last step was to glue that sentiment that we cut out onto the card, and I just used a little bit of liquid glue for that. So that's my edge-to-edge shaker, which is filled with a glittered stenciled background. The combination is just really beautiful between the colors and the colors of the sequins. That pairing was amazing, and then you've got that really beautiful glittery finish with the fade out of the color, those snowflakes popping through, and then that gold greeting in the center. This card, it made me happy after I finished making it. It's simple, but it made me very, very happy. So I hope that something out of this video, whether it was the whole card, pieces of it, anything. I hope something in this card was inspiring to you. I hope you got as much joy out of watching this video as I did creating it, because it was a really fun card project to make. And I also was really, really happy with the fact that I got to make another edge-to-edge shaker card. Hope you don't get tired of those, because I'll probably be sharing another one very soon. Alright friends, well, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. I appreciate it like I can't even tell you. You guys watching my videos means a lot to me. If you're new to my channel and this is the first time watching one of my videos, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. Thank you all for tuning in today. I'll be back very soon with more to share with you all. But until I see you all again, I hope everyone has a very wonderful day. Bye!